Hello and welcome to On Public Square, a City of Clarksville podcast where we get to know the amazing city employees that help keep the lights on. They're our friends, our family, our neighbors, and each of them has a story to tell. Now, let's say hello. All right, and welcome to another episode of On Public Square. I'm here today with three folks from Clarksville Transit System who are going to tell us how to find a ride here in Clarksville and some chances for maybe some free or discounted rides coming up very soon, I do believe. I'm here today with Patricia Nesbitt, Rochelle Fendley, and Veronica Williams. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Great. How are you? To be here.
Doing very well. So as always, I just like to start with introductions. Just tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and just let the people of Clarksville know who you are. Let's start with Veronica.
Okay, I'm Veronica Williams. I work for Clarksville Transit System. I am the operations supervisor. I have been at Clarksville Transit for 19 years. I've worked at various locations for the transit system, and I love my job, and I'm just happy to be here today.
What does that job entail exactly?
I am over the buses. I have 4 supervisors underneath me, and then I have all of the bus drivers, which is approximately 51 at this time. So we have to make sure that the buses ride out on the road on time. We've never missed rollout, so we're trying our best to make sure that everything is moving in Clarksville for our buses.
Wonderful. Sort of a fleet admiral.
Yes.
Love it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Patricia.
Okay, so I am the business analyst for Clarksville Transit System. I have been with Clarksville Transit 3 months now, maybe. So I'm still really new. And in my role, I write grants, I manage projects, and I do social media.
Wonderful. How are you liking it so far? I've been here 3 months.
I'm really enjoying it, actually. I was with my other employer for a very long time, and I thought it would be a really hard transition, but I am very happy I made the change.
Wonderful. Can I ask where you're coming from?
Sure. I was with a nonprofit in Nashville, St. Luke's Community House.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right, and Rochelle.
Well, okay, so I am extremely new. This is like my 6th week here, or is it 7, 6? It's new. Mike calls me the traffic cop. So basically, I'm supposed to keep things moving and new hires and all sorts of fun stuff. It's really, I don't even know. I'm still learning what I do. So yeah, it's different. It's fun though. I definitely like it.
Wonderful. We have a whole gamut. We have people who've been here for quite a long time. I've been here about a year to very new, so we're running the whole gamut today. I love it. Wonderful. So I guess let's just start with kind of what CTS is, what CTS offers. Whoever wants to tell me a little bit more, take it away.
Okay, I'll go ahead. CTS basically is a transit system. We have fixed route buses and we have paratransit route buses. They mirror each other. Our services start at 4:25 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, and that's Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays from 5:30 to 9. Mm-hmm. We have 8 routes, which we use each and every day, total, and we have 2 on Austin P, which is a northbound loop, and a southbound loop. They run parallel to each other. So you have your hour coaches and your half-hour coaches, and we run all through the day from the time I told you, from 4:25 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Our last run is at 8 o'clock. So if you got to catch a bus to get home, you need to make sure you're on that last bus, which is at 8 o'clock to get to where your destination needs to be.
Wonderful. And I assume coaches means buses?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. How many buses do we run?
We run 18 buses throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And then we run the paratransit is 14.
So, wonderful. So quite a few.
Yes.
How does that stand in comparison to other cities of our size? Do we run how hefty of a system are we running?
We run pretty well, a pretty good system. I want to say maybe Jackson probably is close to our size, and they probably run maybe around the same or maybe just a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to note Clarksville actually just our transit system as far as the FTA Federal Transportation Authority is let's start over. Cut
Sure.
It's interesting to note that for Clarksville, as far as the FDA is concerned, we've just moved from a small urbanized area into a large urbanized area because of our population and growth, which means, before we were in the same pool as cities as Jackson, but now we are being lumped in with cities like Nashville and Chattanooga and Knoxville as far as transportation goes.
What does that change on y'all's end as far as just what has to happen?
For us, it's mainly about our grants and funding right now. It changes how we are funded. So less things going through the state and more things working directly with the FTA.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of opens up some new or at least different opportunities.
Yes, I think right now we're probably a small fish in a big pond, but we'll get there.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. A whole new world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Clarksville, I have to imagine, just having lived here and grown up here, I've always thought of Clarksville, it's of course now the fourth largest city. I think we just went from fifth to fourth.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's new information. Yeah.
Maybe it was sixth to fifth, but I'm pretty sure it was fifth to fourth. I'll look it up a little later.
Fifth.
We've been to fifth for a long time.
Okay, I think we just went up to fourth.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure we overtook Chattanooga recently.
Didn't we have a population? Isn't the population gone up significantly?
The population has gone up very significantly.
Go Clarksville.
Yeah. I'll look that up to confirm here in a minute while someone else is talking, and then we can confirm that in a minute. But I've always thought of Clarksville, and I think it's a result of our city being smaller communities that were absorbed into the larger entity over 150 years, really. You have Providence and you have Sango. Clarksville's very spread out, very kind of sprawling, and I imagine that's got to be an interesting challenge for CTS to have to meet.
Oh, it is. Very much so.
We just spent the last 5 hours talking about that today, actually, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We have a lot that we have to look at as far as land-wise, because we can't service everything within the urbanized area because there's nothing out there. So we have to be careful about where we go. We try to make sure that we're in areas where we can pick up actual people that are for needs for disabled. What do you want to call it?
Connecting
new services.
Underserved communities and increasing access is really the goal of transit, right? Increasing access to jobs, to things that increase quality of life. So entertainment.
There's lots of calls asking how to get to the mall, direct routes, and there's not yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's
very
true.
Interesting. And I guess that leads to, you got to think about hot spots where are people going to and coming from the most.
Yeah, and making sure we're staying in areas where we're picking up people that are underprivileged and things like that. So we have to make sure we do that.
Mm-hmm. And we might come back and talk a little bit more about some of that a little bit later, but in particular, one of the things I wanted to talk about, this will be coming out Friday after next, so just a little bit before Halloween, I do believe, and that leads to, we have the Spooky Special coming up. Tell me a little bit about the Spooky Special.
We've been doing the Spooky Special, I want to say now, probably for the last at least 16 years. It started when Mr. Smith and Arthur decided to say, hey, let's get a bus and let's get a design for high school students to do. And they started it. And I want to say it was maybe 16 years ago or maybe longer. We've been doing that. And every year it had been Clarksville Academy for the last, I want to say 10 years or maybe 12. And we decided to go back out to the other high schools and start asking them as well to put in. So it's like a contest now. Mm-hmm. And Miss Patricia, she's been working with that. She's been working really hard on it this year. So she can tell you a little bit more about that.
Wonderful. Yeah, so the schools are involved. What are they doing?
Schools are involved. So we reached out to all of the local area schools to invite them to participate. Some schools have whole classrooms that are working together. Some schools have maybe one student that was interested in drawing. And if they win then the rest of the class will help them paint. And we invited, the virtual school, the alternative school, just students from everywhere. We made sure to include the CDC classes within the school system. So those students were invited to participate as well. Their submissions are actually due next week.
So I think we need to back submissions. What are they submitting what is it?
They are submitting basically artwork or drawings that will then be put on the bus, right? So, then they will get to paint a bus, and this bus will drive through town, and rides on this bus will be free of charge.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. For how long?
It'll be
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. And what 2 days are those?
Should be.
That's a great question. I don't know that we settled on those days. I think we said the 30th and 31st.
Yes, I think.
For Halloween?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I think the 29th is a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We'll look it up and put it in the description.
The 29th and the 31st, I believe. Those are the 2 days. We try to, if it's rainy or anything, we want to pull it off because we don't want it to ruin it. So we try to keep it where if it's raining, we'll pull it off the road, and then we'll wait for the following day to do it.
Yes.
So different students in classrooms submit art, and the winner gets to see their art realized on a bus. Yeah. Very cool.
We're going to post the submissions on our social media so people can vote. And the post with the most likes will be the winner. So next week, we would like for everyone, well, it's not next week, it's the week after.
The week after.
The postings will be done the 20th. So they'll be on social media on the 20th. People will have about 3 days to vote, so that we still have time to get the bus designed.
We were actually just talking before this about local art and supporting local artists, which is sort of a passion of mine. I love going to local art shows, like the one with Riverfest, and occasionally picking up a painting here or there just to support local artists. So anything encouraging students to gain that skill and to encourage creativity and artistic pursuits is wonderful. I love that. Have any memorable submissions from past years that were favorites? Maybe
I have two that I really like. They had one, Clarksville Academy did, and it was the Friends thing. They did the door and everything, and they made everything Halloween around it. It was gorgeous. It was really nice.
Oh, so they did like a Central Perk bus?
Yes, it was really nice.
Love it.
And then last year, Northeast did a awesome bus. Awesome. They had some great students that were great artists. I will give them that. They did a great job on the bus last year. We've had some in the past that, we're like, okay, we're going to work with it. One side looked good and the other side was like, whoa. But it was fun just to see the kids do it. They're happy. They're just happy about doing it. So, and we're appreciative for them coming out to help us with that.
Wonderful. And I know this isn't, there are a couple other holiday or seasonally based chances for free or reduced fare. Am I correct?
Yes. Usually Thanksgiving time, Black Friday, we always do free because so many people are trying to get out, to get their families gifts and stuff. That one day people like to get out. So we do free on Black Friday.
Wonderful. And people seem to always appreciate just that little bit of extra help around the holidays.
Yes, and we try our best. And usually Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, we try to do it free as well. It's just what we can do to help, we try our best to.
Wonderful. And I know there are some opportunities as well, kind of moving on. I was speaking with the new director, Michael, recently. He requested that we speak about APSU students as well.
Yes, they ride for free.
Wonderful. So when I was in school, I remember orientation, they mentioned that, is it any bus or is it the APSU wrapped buses? I was a little confused.
It's any bus.
Oh.
So not only the APSU buses you ride for free, but you ride the city bus as well for free.
Wonderful.
As long as you show your ID and your little keychain that they give you every year, it's always a different color, you can ride for free.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And that's great. A great perk for our college students.
Oh, yes. Here. And we have a lot of them that use it. So I'm really happy about that.
Is it just APSU or any of the other local
Nashville State does as well.
Wonderful. I knew there was a bus stop there. I seem to remember I teach there part-time when I have a little bit of time. But that's awesome. Very cool. And for that, I suppose people might be wondering where they can find the bus schedules and how to get on, which is another thing we need to talk a little bit about, which is the Clarksville Transit app.
Yes.
I know that's been a big project over the past couple years to get that up and running. I was looking a little bit myself just today. And I will say I was a little confused on something. Mm-hmm. There seem to be 2 apps. Am I correct? There's Token Transit and Spot.
Yes. The Token Transit is for you to buy your bus passes with.
Okay.
That's what that is for. Your Token Transit is. The Spot apples will show you where all the buses are at. And you can look. And the only thing you have to do is download the app on an Android or iPhone. Once you download it, you'll go through and you'll look for Clarksville Transit System. You click on it, and then it will show you where all the buses, if you're looking for Route 7, you click on Route 7. It'll show you where it's at. And then you were like, instead of you calling, you'll see the bus coming towards you. So you just watch the app. That's all you'll have to do.
That's super cool. I got it open right now. I'm taking a look. I mean, this just being able to see where the buses are makes it so much easier.
And you can just go to the map and it shows you everything.
Yeah.
And we're also able to put on the Spot app, like if a bus is broke down or we have to cut a service or something, it tells them ahead of time so they'll know, hey, find alternate, locations to get to another bus, or either it's an easy way to find where you need to go.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm looking just right now, and I'm just going to click on the nearest bus to us because I'm curious. Looks like if you wanted to stop, there's a bus that's about to be at North 2nd and Legion Street. For the Cunningham loop. That would be bus 741. It will be there in less than 2 minutes.
Yes.
So I downloaded this right before we were recording. Mm-hmm. It's that easy, folks. Just opened it, and it wasn't really much of a learning curve. It's just right there. It opens up like a Google map almost looking. Mm-hmm. You can see all the buses. Very cool. Can I get it to highlight the stops, I wonder?
Wherever the stop is you want to go to, yes, you should be able to.
So when you click over to the route tab,
and it'll show you all
can
that.
Select the specific routes you want to see.
Love it. And it's all color-coded. That's very
different
handy.
colors, whatever you want. And that way, if you just want to do 2 routes, you just push the 2 routes that you want to do and see where they meet up at. Or if you're just doing 1 route, you just click the 1 route and say, hey, I need to get on here, and I know it's going to take me to the Walmart. Get off. And then that way you know exactly when the bus is coming back. You can be looking at your phone, and you know exactly when it's going to be back there.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Love it. So kind of going back to these routes, I've always wondered kind of how that goes about deciding where the routes are going to be and where bus stops are most needed. Can we learn or get a little bit of just how the sausage is made? Like how do those how does I assume it's a lot of math. Probably, but I'm curious. How does that work?
Well, when you're looking into where, like, doing a route, let's just say we're making a new route. Mm-hmm. We have to look at where it's going to be feasible for the people. Is it a lot of people getting on at this route? Are we going to have more than one person getting on at this location? It's not good for just one person. We need to make sure that this route is going to be easy for multiple people. Let's say 20 or 30 people on this route. So it's just like when we were doing Route 8, when we brought that up. Route 8's been here for like the last 5 years. Mm. And before we had that route, we had to think about how we're going to get people back from Walmart North on Fort Campbell Boulevard to the hospital. So we have to look at the hospital. So we said, well, if we went all the way around Fort Campbell Boulevard, then go down Providence, that's going to take at least an hour and a half or 2 hours. So we decided to go down 101, and that's why it's called 101 Express, because it gets them there from there to there within 20 minutes. So it won't be a long trip for them to have to ride all the way back around just to get to the hospital. So we have to look at all variables of what we're going to do when we're putting people on these routes, and how is it going to be feasible for them to stay on the bus for an hour or 20 minutes. Most people just want to be on the bus no more than 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. So we have to look at that whole outlook of what we're doing when we're making routes. Because you don't want no one wants to be on the bus for like 45 minutes to an hour unless they just want to ride around.
I've had days like that.
Yeah. Now, you do have people that just want to ride around, but most people want to get to their destination and get off and be able to get back on so they can get back home.
I am fascinated by that's so far above. Like, I'm not a math and logistics person. It's not something that I understand at all. So it blows my mind to think about all that has to go into the consideration for that kind of stuff. I'll visit some of these large urban areas. I love to go to Chicago just for a weekend here or there, and just the sheer weight of the L subway system and the buses and the rail cars and the this and that's just blows my mind to think.
That is true.
It's very numbers driven, and you're looking at local data, census data. You're talking to the Regional Planning Commission. There's a lot that goes into building a full-on route. You have to coordinate with what streets for bus stops sometimes. I mean, it's
we got to make sure that we can put the bus stops down.
Yeah. So
it's get asked questions.
It's above my head, but that's what I've learned in 3 months.
That's actually something I heard someone ask this the other night at the transportation meeting. In instances where sidewalks are going in on a street that has a bus stop, what does that mean for that bus stop while folks are working there putting down concrete and stuff? How does that work? Does it move to the other side of the street? Or?
No, most of our drivers and our bus operators and most of the people that ride the bus, they know exactly where the stops are at. So during that time frame, sometimes they'll leave it just posted up, just have it just barely in the ground hanging, or sometimes they'll just leave it on the ground and just be laying there, and people see the bus stop and they know they can still go back there. But we have to get them put back up as soon as those sidewalks go up.
I was just wondering if it's I guess a challenge if people are there working and there's wet cement and getting around.
Well, they know to go up further or go down lower. As long as they're somewhere where they can catch a bus within any place under 30 miles an hour, you can pick up anywhere.
Wonderful.
So that's a good thing.
Very cool. Yeah, in particular, I think the place that folks were wondering about was with the New Providence sidewalks going in soon. Was the one that was which I live over there. I'm excited to see those sidewalks added.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, it's needed. It's gonna. I do not envy the street department on that project because that's a long stretch with some interesting terrain, but I know they're going to do a great job with it. I just heard people wondering, well, what about the bus stops along that way? And so that's good to hear that it shouldn't affect things too bad.
It shouldn't affect things too bad. Like I said, in the bus operators, if they see someone is standing any place that's safe, like a safe stop, they're going to make. Okay. We have to make sure of that. I mean, my thing of it is, I hear people say, well, it's an unsafe stop. What do you consider an unsafe stop? If I can pull the bus off and I put my blinkers on and I'm safe, then I'm in a safe place. You just have to be careful about what you do. It's just using a little common sense when we're doing things and just keep it going.
That's a good point. You actually drive too. I do believe I've ridden in a bus you've driven.
I have to get on the bus sometimes,
Yeah, that's got to be fun from time to time. At least.
Yeah, I just did it. Day before yesterday?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I believe there's some hiring going on too. Is there not?
Yes, we're still hiring. We need people. We need people with CDLs and P endorsements. So definitely need good drivers. Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit about or anyone who might be listening that's interested?
Yes, we need full-time and part-time drivers. We can, if you want to be part-time, we can work you 2 days, 3 days, 4 days a week. If you want to be full-time, it'll be 5 days plus. If you want overtime, we can give it to you. We need people that want to work and want to come to work. And please come without missing a day for at least 30 days.
Is there any assistance offered for getting a CDL if you need to get one, or any training assistance?
We have a trainer that we're trying to hire for right now. Yes, we used to have complete training for that, but right now we're looking for a trainer. So as soon as we get that, we'll have complete service for that, where we'll be able to train them from top to bottom to get their CDLs with P endorsements.
That's really cool.
If you're a safety trainer, we also could use you.
Yes, we are looking. Anyone that has, if you're looking for a job, we are looking for a safety trainer as well. Someone that is looking, that has done this before, where can help us. We really need the help in this department.
Wonderful.
Another job too for the
custodial?
No, the other one, the one that I just posted, or was going to post today.
I saw that.
Under Chris. It's a mechanic job.
Oh yeah.
That they need mechanics too.
Mhm.
Wonderful. I think I may have saw a warehouse position too, or that might have been with the city garage.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah.
City's a great place to work. We got open positions for just about anything you can
Everything.
imagine. City, I believe, has something like 1,500 employees right now, and there's always room for more people to join the crew.
And it's a great place to work. They need to come on.
It really is.
It is. I came from the state and I love it here. So
Yeah. I loved my last job, but this one has also been great. Love the people I work with.
Yeah, and you have so many people you meet in every department,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Love it. I kind of wanted to go back. You mentioned that a lot of your job, Patricia, involves grant writing.
Yes.
And that's been a big topic. We've had a few of our grant writers in here to talk about various projects. I'm blanking right now on any specifics.
Mhm.
And I know I'm talking to Lauren about coming up soon to talk about some of the things she's working on. Anything exciting in the world of grants going on for CTS?
Well, I will say one thing about transportation grants. More often than not, you're not going to get your creative juices going. A lot of it's formula based. So the federal government or state will say, this is how much of this pot of the money you're eligible for. Tell us how you're going to use it and how you're going to basically maximize their stake or what they're putting into your community. So there's a lot of grants like that. They're very specific, capital grants, operating grants. There are grants for our paratransit services, things like that. And then there's also some really cool, what we call discretionary grants.
Mm-hmm.
So things like reconnecting communities, which we recently submitted a grant for. Lots of opportunities for collaboration. So like I meet with the other department grant writers monthly and we all talk about our projects and throw ideas around, see if there's an opportunity for partnerships, just see what direction the city is thinking and growing in so that we're kind of in alignment and keeping track of everything. And then there's right now I'm writing a grant for new technology, for our buses, just some planning stuff to see, are we on the right track? Is there one app instead of two that we could be using? That kind of thing to make life easier for our clients and for ourselves. So there's lots of different opportunities. I think a part of, my job when I came in was to see what are some new grants out there that CTS has not gone for in the past and to research those, find those and, see what we can do.
Wonderful. So pretty busy at the moment. Lots of stuff out there.
This is the busiest month.
Really?
Yes, what I just learned is October is not a good time to plan a vacation. But I did plan a vacation. So lots of long days and nights until the end of the month, maybe.
Is there like a grant season where just a lot of this stuff comes up? Is that how that works?
Yes. So, and it's really depending on what area you're in. So what I'm learning with this is the federal fiscal year ends September 30th. So there's lots of reports due right now. There's lots of grants that are due so they can evaluate them for the next fiscal year, things like that. The state is also on that same calendar year, close. Their closeouts and reports are due around the same time. So we're having, it's kind of like this influx of from October 1st to October 30th. These are all the things you're going to do. But for example, in my previous life, December was a huge fundraising month and then we had a season during the summer where grants were really heavy because in the private sector, it's a July 1 fiscal year. So it just really depends on what area of grant world you're in.
Wonderful. Very cool. So really, that's about all the questions I have. I really wanted to talk about Spooky Special and learn a little bit more about that, and I'll be excited to see those submissions. Folks, make sure you keep an eye on what would the Facebook page, I would think.
Yes.
Wonderful. To vote on your favorites, I'll make sure to include a link to the Clarksville Transit System Facebook page in the description of this episode, as well as a link to the website page where folks can download the app and such as well. We talked about APSU and free ride opportunities, so students, make sure you have your student IDs. I know fall break is coming right up. Our will have just ended. No, it will. It's happening the day after the Monday after this comes out. So, gonna have a little bit more free time. Maybe take a bus, go do something new. Head out to the mall. I guess people don't go to the mall anymore, do they?
I think they still do.
They do. They do. Our buses.
Yeah, they definitely call to find out how to get there.
Yes.
So.
I heard we might be getting some really interesting new businesses at the mall.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't know any specifics or none that are official enough to say here, but I heard there might be some new stuff coming out to at least that like Governor Square parking lot area that may be pretty interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah. Talked about the app. Check out Token. Check out Spot. They are free to use. Download really quickly. Really easy to learn, and make sure you know how you can get where as quickly as possible and as easily as possible. I know we had some folks ask. I think we're going to not talk about it quite yet because there's some still some stuff in the works on it with the new transit center, but I cannot wait. I've had folks up here from Transit System a couple times, and we've asked, and I cannot wait to eventually when it's
working
time.
on it.
Yeah.
The money lady's trying her best.
We're working on it. There's a lot involved with the FDA. So.
Yes, it is.
Talking about things that are complex, and you want to make sure you get it right, especially with something that's going to be the nerve center for such a huge thing. I'm sure it's a thing of we want to make sure it's the best possible solution. So that's about all I have. Is there anything else we want to add? Any closing remarks?
Seniors ride for free, so anyone over the age of 65 can ride for free as well.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
The only thing they have to do is go downtown, have their driver's license or their ID, and show that their age, and they will make them an ID so they can ride the bus for free.
Do we want to mention anything about demand response paratransit services? Like, how do you?
Yes, anyone that wants to do, that needs a ride that's elderly, disabled, or physically challenged, we do have demand response. It is by application process, so they can get an application online through the city of Clarksville Transit System's website, or they can come to our 430 Boylan Lane and get the application as well.
Good time to mention as well that accessibility has always been a very important priority for CTS, and our buses are all fully accessible.
That's right.
That's right.
Wonderful. Anything on your end, Rochelle?
I'm still learning. They know everything. Veronica, I'm listening to her talk, and I was like, how long is it going to take me to know? I'm like, it's going to be a long time.
No, it's not.
Yes, long time.
You're going to get there. We don't get there.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for coming up. This has been a blast. I always love talking to folks from CTS. And, thank you so much. This has been great.
We appreciate
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that'll be it for this episode of On Public Square. Catch you next time.